In this video, Shalin, who is the head of client success in my company, interviewed our client Moyra, who is an archaeologist, travels a ton. This is a really powerful interview. I'm excited to show you guys and also excited to introduce you guys to Shalin so you can kind of see a bit of the back end of what we actually do. So without further ado, let's dive into the interview.
As we start, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, your name, where you live, what you do for work, what your work schedule is like?
So my name is Moyra. I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or Lancaster, as they say it down here. I'm an archaeologist, and my work schedule as of recent has been quite chaotic. I've been doing 8 days on a Monday to Monday of work with 6 days off where I get to be home. I've been traveling mostly West Virginia, but I kind of travel all over the place. Um, Work in the winter is kind of stagnant because weather, so I don't get to really dig in the ground. So that's kind of been a challenge just in life of not having consistent work. Um, but yeah, work is kind of my life right now, but I'm hoping that it settles out with a new job coming in. So,
Yep. And what kind of results have you gotten so far, both physically and mentally, since you started this program?
oh, a lot. Physically, I see a difference when I wear certain clothes that I'm like, I didn't think was gonna ever fit. I actually tried a pair of pants on today that I bought and I thought it was gonna fit me months, maybe almost a year ago. And it still has the tags on it and they never did. So I was like, I don't want to get rid of these. I want these to be gold pants because I really like them and I couldn't return them. I actually tried them on today and they fit. I could use to lose a little more in the thighs, but I was very proud that they still fit better than they did. And mentally, I can't even give you words of my mental space since starting this program. I can honestly say I've been saying less things mentally bad about myself. I have been um, pushing my husband in better ways because I haven't been so drained. I there are still days where it's kind of like this is overloaded, but I just, yeah, I don't really have words to explain my mental space. I feel lighter, in for lack of a better term,
Wow, that's amazing. Lighter, both physically and mentally.
mentally. Yeah.
It sounds like the mental stuff is where you really are like feeling the most. Can you walk us through a little bit more of like that mental transition? Kind of where were you at before, and what are your thoughts like now? What's been the shift?
Yeah, so when I first started this, I honestly hated looking in the mirror. I would always ask my husband what I looked like in an outfit, because I knew if I looked in the mirror, no matter what I saw, I wasn't gonna like it. So I was just constantly, oh, this I'm not gonna wear this. I need something baggier. I always was like, I'll do it later. I don't want to do it now. I didn't have any type of energy to take the dog for a walk, and I knew I had to, like, I have to show up for him. I was stagnant in a lot of ways, like keeping up with family, especially because when I lost my job, I just was on unemployment and then I couldn't find a job. And then I was living in somebody's basement because I couldn't afford to rent and they were gracious enough to let me in. And that wasn't where I wanted to be for a year and a half into my marriage. So it was just a lot of things. And I figured that's when I started kind of turning the tables. My brain was like, enough is enough. I knew, and I still know, the steps to do things to like lose the weight, but I never had the push to get there. I was like, I know what I have to do, but I'm not going to do it. So I was just kind of basically lying to myself every day that I was going to do something, and then I never did. And then I actually was just scrolling through, and Zach's profile came up on my Instagram, and he was like, "Oh, I'm like, we help people who travel with work." And I was like, so pulled into that because that's all I do. I feel like is just travel. I'm on constantly in the car. Um, I just needed that extra spot. So I followed him, not thinking of a program, but thinking maybe he would post a few videos here or there of like things to do. Because like I said, I thought I would be able to get myself the push. And then he reached out to me. And at first, I thought it was a massive scam. And I was like, I'm going to lose so much money because I already got scammed for a Christmas gift or a birthday gift right before he reached out to me. So I was just so hesitant and I did so much research. And I spoke to my husband about it and I was like, I don't think we're going to be able to afford this, like in this spot right now with not having a job. He's just like, well, we'll just hear them out. And that's what I did. And you guys were so gracious with working with me to be able to start this program. Um, and then when the program started, my mindset didn't like, I'm always someone to show up for somebody else, but I can never show up for myself. So when this program started, and you had like those three like areas that we had to go through, like progression areas, um, it was kind of like my brain was like, I'm behind the curve. When you told me like for the first progress, we have to do nutrition and like or steps or water, like you pick one thing and we work on it and we'll work our way into workouts. When I wasn't getting the workouts and I wasn't really doing good at nutrition, but I was getting okay at steps and I was definitely keeping up with water, I felt like I was behind the ball because I didn't hear anything else about moving to the next step. So I was like, okay, I have to step up. Like I'm letting the program down in my head. Even though everything was my own pace, in my head, I was behind. Um, and then me and you had a deep conversation that kind of like turned my mind. The first, I think it was like 2 or 3 months in, when I was really struggling. It kind of broke down the wall I had up, I guess, to progress in all of this. And the just do it became the motto. And it was just, even if it was one thing, I still did something. But then I noticed when I started doing just the one squat, I wanted to finish the workout. Or if I couldn't get the workout, at least I knew I did two reps. Um, and then it just snowballed from there. And I thought it was showing up for you subconsciously, but it was always showing up for me. And that's where it came back to like I wanted to be the hero of my own story. And it's like I didn't realize the strength I was producing for myself became natural. Like it was just a habit. Like uh yeah, I just somewhere mentally thought I was showing up for you, but I wasn't. I was showing up for me because it felt good. I felt good. I wanted to keep doing it. Um and it was nice to actually give myself the ability to do something for me and not for other people.
Yep.
So, but I
You
could
know,
go ahead.
so I want to kind of dig into that a little more because I think it's really phenomenal. Like you shared kind of where you were at before. And if anything, life has probably gotten more hectic. Like you've been moved into a new place, your job is still just as crazy, you have all these other things on your plate. And now you've literally just won a 21-day nutrition challenge in the program where you hit your macros where you thought you were behind when you started. You hit your macros for 21 days straight. All of them. Like nearly perfectly, which is
Yeah.
incredible during this time. You also, I think a couple weeks ago, you had a week where you did an activity, like a workout, basically every single day of the week during this time too. So it's pretty amazing to me that like before it was like work is dominating, life is crazy. Now it's gotten even crazier and you've actually still been able to do these things, prioritize for yourself. So, um, I kind of want to touch base first on that moment where you were kind of you came to me and the workouts were the new challenge. Can you walk me through your mindset on that call and how that shifted?
Um, my mindset on the call was actually very embarrassed. I never thought I would break down in front of, I mean, to me, you're still a stranger at the time. We had like 2 or 3 calls. I never thought I would break down into tears and release personal information to someone that I thought I was only going to be talking about like exercise habits and healthy habits. So like after that call, it was kind of like what got me to be able to just do it, for lack of a better term, was just I constantly thought back of you just saying, just do one thing. Start there. You just need to start. Push start. That's what you said to me. You said push start. Um, so and there was the days where I was like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, but my brain would instantly recall you saying just push start. So I pushed start and I did the first workout. And it's like once you pushed that snowball off the cliff, the momentum, I just finished the workout. And then there were days where I didn't do them. But recently, like you said, the 21-day challenge, and I had almost 2 weeks of straight activity with all of the chaos in my life going on. I really learned to compartmentalize home from work. So a lot of the nutrition challenge when I was home was a struggle because I was in the middle of the move and I had family come over and they made dinners, which wasn't in my like scheduled meals. So I really had to figure out how to eat, which ended up just being at like 9 o'clock at night after logging all my stuff, realizing I was still missing fats or still missing carbs. So I was just like eating before the end of the night to make sure I got my carbs and stuff in. But when I'm at work, I don't think about home. I don't think about the things I have to do when I'm home. I used to. I used to be able to be like, when I'm in the hotel and I have nothing to do, I could get these things on the computer done. But I stopped doing that, and I've noticed that I haven't felt so overwhelmed. And I knew I could control my workouts because that's something I could do while I'm at the hotel that's not work, like home related. And my nutrition, I learned to be able to meal prep it out and bring it to the hotels. Or my one coworker has an electric pan, and I've been bringing my crock pot, and I've been making meals in the hotel, even though my hotel hasn't had like kitchenettes or anything. I've really been utilizing that, especially because I have like this little mini fridge that you could plug into the cigarette lighter of your car. So this 6 hour drive with that has been super helpful. Um, and it's been nice to be able to have my meal, like my lunches specifically, because then when I do go out for dinner at night, I could be a little more free with all of my stuff. So the 21-day challenge and my workouts have primarily come from I can't do a lot at my hotel, but I could control this. And
Mhm.
then when I get home, that's when you can really see in my like I fall off. My nutrition kind of stops and like my workouts kind of stop. Because like now I have so much other stuff and like I always put myself on the back. But I am hoping that when I get my life at my home in order, I could start from the beginning, like I did with that phone call,
Yep.
and I just do one thing. Like aim back at when I'm home, I focus on getting my nutrition in. And then once I get my nutrition rolling, I'll focus on definitely getting my steps, which I have my walker now, like my walking pad. I am definitely starting with steps at home and water because I feel like those are the two easiest things to at least keep up on while I'm home because I need to do water. I need water while I'm going around. And at the end of the day, if after all the crap I get done, I still need my steps, I'll throw my walking pad on and I'll watch some TV. Um, so that's kind of my mental space for home and like my goals and how I plan on trying to rectify it because I do prefer how I feel when I'm in a hotel after I have a whole week of workouts or stretching and a nice bright yellow barred page for my nutrition. But it just comes, yeah. You're just always in the back of my head just saying, just do it, just push start. And we'll see how I feel after I push start. Small steps. It's my brain. Small
That's really
steps.
powerful. I love that flip because it's really cool because not you like your external reality still stayed just as chaotic, if not even more chaotic, but
Yeah.
your mindset and your approach changed, which allowed you to do all these things. What would you tell someone who's like just coming in, who's brand new, and they're like, they have the same challenges, right? They're putting themselves last. Their life is really crazy. They're traveling all the time. They want to build up these skills, but it feels really overwhelming. Like getting to the point where you are with nutrition, hitting nutrition consistently, hitting workouts consistently, 25 pounds down, feeling great mentally, physically. Like, what do you tell someone who's just starting out in that position where you were at?
Small steps. And I know that's like probably something everyone always says is small steps, but my goal was always get at least one thing done. If I got one thing done, I did something. Um, and that's how I started. I was like, I'm going to get my steps in because I knew when I first started, steps was a hard thing for me. But I knew keeping up with water. So I didn't count water as one of my three things. So I was just like, I'm going to get my steps in. And at least I knew I showed up for that. And then moving from one thing, I did two because at least I got half of it done. So water and steps, even to right now, when I say it, it's like those are the easiest things for me to know that at the end of the day I could do. And then my nutrition came way later. I've So start small, do one thing, make small, easy goals. Um, that's the one thing I always preach is you need to, if you're not reaching your goals, you need to make an easier obtainable goal, because just crossing that goal line is what really helps the hurdle. It may feel small, it may feel like, oh, this is something I do every day, but that small step is like, I did achieve this every day. I drank my 80 ounces of water every day. What, like, now that I've got that down pat, what's the next small thing I could do? If you can't hit the 8K steps, maybe move it back to 5K. Or if you want it, like, then keep pushing. Just small goals and small steps, and they slowly just start building.
I love that so much. It's so easy to kind of come in and want to stack everything on. You're like, all right, I got to do all of these things perfectly. That's how I'm going to see results. And
Yeah.
it's just not, that's just not how it works. It's not how we learn. So, that's really powerful. If you had to tell yourself in the future, right? Imagine yourself in the future and you're feeling a little bit ungrounded or out of it or like not connected to your process. What would you tell yourself?
Start small, small steps. Where can I restart? You can't make progress without starting somewhere. Uh, just start small. Pick up on the easiest thing that you could do right now, whether that be whatever is in front of you, putting the laundry away, taking my steps, just going outside, clear your space with the dog. Just start small. That's kind of been my motto. Start small and just do it.
I love it. It's simple, it's so clear, hard to do sometimes, but you make it easier. That's really cool. It's funny that the two pieces are the same, right? The advice you'd give
Yeah.
to someone starting, the advice you'd give to yourself later. Um,
Yep.
it's the same thing. That's great. Um, I'm curious also, has there been any limiting beliefs, right? So like when you came in, I don't know if this is possible. I would honestly approach your that workout thing too. It's like I'm too tired to be able to do this after a long day. Any limiting beliefs like that that you've broken? And what was the thought before? What was the new thought?
Honestly, the amount of weight I've already lost was a limiting thing in my brain. Because I've tried so hard just to lose a few pounds, and I just never could. I worked out before my wedding with my husband. Like, we were weightlifting. I was hitting PRs, but I wasn't losing anything. I wasn't like measurements weren't changing, so I didn't think losing weight on this was going to be a thing. I thought it was just going to be I'm gonna get stagnant out. I'm gonna plateau, and that's going to be the end of it. So seeing every time I did a check-in, I lost 5 pounds really shocked me. And then the occasional 1 or 2 pounds down with the 1 or 2 pounds up, I was just kind of like, this is not something I thought I could do. And then I didn't think of it until just recently, but a limiting thing was I didn't think I was going to need to find new clothes. So that was just like a new whirlwind for me. um, I never thought I couldn't do anything in the sense of getting the workouts done. I just knew I always stood in my way. So I knew I was going to be my own limit. But uh, once I saw some of the results just from steps and water, dropping those 5 pounds, 10 pounds, I was like, imagine if I started working out on top of this. Like, where is this going to go? Um, so yeah, my limits have definitely been exceeded. And as of right now, I can honestly say I've never thought of there being some type of glass ceiling above me that I just feel like I couldn't actually reach. My
Wow,
mindset has completely changed. Yeah.
that's amazing. Um, so now that that ceiling's gone, what like it kind of is interesting because you have to kind of set new targets for yourself because you didn't know what was possible before you set this like limit for yourself unknowingly. Now that that's broken open, what do you see coming next?
Um,
Where do you want to take things?
I kind of want to just keep progressing. I want to just kind of see what things happen. I mean, not at my goal weight. I mean, I had a goal weight in mind. I wanted to be back in the 190s, but the biggest thing was I just wanted to be able to not hate myself when I looked at myself. And I know I definitely achieved that. And I definitely know I am more capable of things on my harder days than I ever thought I was. So when I look ahead, I just keep seeing the same things that I'm doing. And if I keep getting results, great. If I stay stagnant, I'll figure it out. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I don't want to worry about the future too much. I just want to be able to keep going.
Yeah. Can you imagine living the way you used to when you started now?
I don't know how I did it. Like when I had that brain fog, I'll call it, before all this, I don't know how my husband handled me. I don't know how people handled me. Because I was kind of mean for clean word purposes. Um, I was definitely, I don't know why anyone would want to be around me when I was in that space. Um, I was a hermit. Yeah.
And what has that changed into now? How are you interacting with others?
I still don't want to go outside, but I do found better patience with other people. And I think that's because I've been practicing patience within myself.
Mhm.
Um, I I think the whole going out and doing stuff will come when my traveling schedule slows down. I definitely know being out of my house for 8 days and then home for six, but barely seeing Vince for 2 hours a day before he has to go to work has really taken a mental toll on me. Um, and that's something I'm looking forward to, just being able to be home Monday, like work Monday through Friday, have my weekends off, um, and figuring out a schedule with him where I could spend time before he goes to work with him and not have to worry about unpacking boxes or going to wherever state I'm going to for work. Um, I think that's kind of what that's going to.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of like, I kind of want to build on this too, like your fitness impacting other areas of your life. You're saying your mindset changed, how you interact with other people changed. What else has changed as a result in like outside of fitness because of your focus on this stuff?
Um, my interactions with people, like I said, I definitely have more patience for them. I'm not so negative on any outside of life. Like we all make the jokes of how we don't want to be wherever we are because when you're in the woods and it's 80 degrees outside digging holes, it's not fun. I mean, it's fun, but not fun. So it's like I've noticed that uh okay, here's a good example of how I could put this. When I asked a new group of techs that came on this past weekend how they viewed me when they first met me, I did not expect people to say I'm intimidating. And then when I talked to my husband about it, he said, since I started working out, I have gained more confidence in myself. And it actually shows. Like when I'm standing somewhere doing something, the confidence just comes off me, even though I don't realize it. So realizing that my confidence projects strength to people, um, is kind of nice to know because I always thought people looked at me as some type of pushover or a yes ma'am. Um, so seeing that people, I don't want people to view me as intimidating. They then said that they found out I was really cool and down to earth and funny. But when they first met me, not only because I was their boss, they were intimidated by my knowledge. And hearing it from my husband, who broke it down more, it was kind of like, okay, so I'm not this squishy marshmallow yes ma'am that people could walk over. I do have strength. I am my main character. That felt really good this week. And I do actually don't mind going for like I always didn't mind walking in cities. I didn't mind whenever I traveled walking. I always preferred walking over driving. Um, but I have noticed, even though I don't want to leave my house, if me and my husband want to go somewhere, I see if we could walk it first. So my relationship with outside has been coming a lot better. Because I also noticed that my knees don't hurt as much as they used to, and I don't even think they hurt. It was just the clicking in my ears drove me insane. Um,
Mhm.
my relationship with nature has grown, and I think my relationship projecting towards people helped me grow with myself without realizing it and having that conversation this week.
Wow, that's amazing. Um, how I'm curious, how would you describe this program structure to someone who isn't in it?
Habit forming. It's not it's not a diet, it's not a regimen. It's kind of re like it's a life restructure. You work around your life. It's Yeah, I mean, even for someone who doesn't travel for work, I think this program would benefit them because it's learning to fit it in with what you have going on. Even for yeah, for someone who's just a desk job, a 9 to 5, um, there's just habits that you could form around that you don't have to be like, oh, well, I get home at 5, I have to cook dinner, I have to clean the house, and then I go to bed. Because I used to have that mindset when I had to travel an hour, 40 minutes to get home every day after the office. You're just tired, but this program really made me realize I could do it before I go to work. I could do it after I go to work. I could do it while I'm at work. It's habit forming in on your schedule.
Mhm. What would your feedback be on the program as a whole?
Great. I don't have any complaints. I I'm grateful for this program, but I don't think there's anything that I'd say would have to make it better. I don't There's nothing that I've came across in my journey through this that I would say I wished it was this way.
What would you tell someone who's thinking about it and like on the fence? Because I know how you came in, you were like, is this a scam? Like, which is
Yeah.
totally normal thoughts.
Um uh Ask questions and definitely talk it out. Because my fence moment was definitely if I was going to be able to afford it due to not having a job. And when I found out that you guys were willing to work with me on your end, because you're people too, looking out for people, just express your concerns, be open. Like you guys are people. Life sucks, things happen. Um, but yeah, biggest thing is just be open, be vulnerable.
I love it. Is there anything else you want to share with your future self for later? Or actually, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Anything you want to share for your future self?
No, because I think everything I expressed could help somebody, but it definitely could help myself. Just looking back, because I didn't even think of using this meeting as a way of helping others. Because I always, like I told you when I first started, I definitely put people first. So thinking going into this meeting that this is going to be for other people actually made me more nervous than thinking it was for myself. So that was a nice mind shift change. So, but yeah, what would
That's great.
Shalin say? That's what I'm going to leave for myself.
Love it. I flipped that into like, what would Moira say? What would Moira say to herself or to others? Um, awesome. So last thing is there any way if like people want to get in touch with you or ask you some questions, is there a good way to contact you?
Yeah. I would say they could text me, but I think the best thing is just I'm more likely to respond knowing it's not a scam alert or something. If you do text me, like if people ask you for my number and you give it to them, that's fine. Just let me know that you're part of this program and what questions you have, or reach out to me on my Instagram. I don't post things, but I promise you, I'm always sending things. So I'm always available on Instagram.
Okay, nice. We'll put that in the link for the description.
There you go.
Cool. Great. Awesome, Moira. We can end it there.